長生きできるから頑張ってね。
なめてんじゃねえぞ。どうだ、俺はこれでも武神流の怪伝なんだよ。
なんてね。2分持たなかったね。うん、スライムボディスーツも大満足だ。
You are now part of the Shadow Garden. Wow. Okay, maybe that was a little much to start a video. Okay, I love this anime so much. Like, I am in a better mood after watching this anime. Like, Eminence of a Shadow, or Eminence in Shadow. Like, I'm in a better mood. I am happy. I audibly gasped this episode like several different times. Everything I wanted at the initial start of the video, or the initial start of this episode, I got answers to. Like, I felt fulfilled. I felt that this was masterfully crafted, directed, animated, like everything that I want from an episode. Like, to me, this is a 10 out of 10 episode. Like, I could literally find no faults, and I'm going to walk you through, like, my thought process. I could find no faults here. And Sid is a effing fantastic character, and this dude is a effing psychopath. And I'm here for it. Like, I am all in, and I love it so effing much. Even at the end of the episode, the girls are like, it's time for us to leave you. And this dude is like, yo, what do you mean? I had plans. But I'm going to get there. Okay, so the episode starts. I'm going to get it running through like a synopsis. And as I run you through it, here's the thing. The review part of it, done. 10 out of 10 episode. I think that there was, like, if I sat here and really try and, like, super duper nitpick, I could find, like, a couple of faults. But my enjoyment was a 10 out of 10 episode, right? And I think that's what, when people review games, or when they review movies, or when they review TV shows, and in this case, anime, right? When you're reviewing something, you're reviewing it objectively from your own personal taste and feels. That's why you're going to have, like, a video game, right? Like, I have my Switch right over here, right? So that's why you're going to have a game, like, to me, Persona 5, you know what I mean? Like, or I have that thing, Fire Emblem Warriors, back there. Like, I gave that, like, a 9 out of 10. I thought that was amazing. But other people are going to give it a 7 out of 10, right? Because it just didn't suit their taste, stuff like that, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like, for me, the review part is over 10 out of 10 episode. So what I want to do now is I'm going to go through each of the different things that occurred this episode, and I'm going to provide you my color on, like, my thought process during this time. So the episode opens up, and he's currently enrolled in some kind of school, right? So immediately I'm like, okay, we skipped a lot of time. How the hell did he get to this school? What happened? I was like, hopefully we get to the point of, like, how he got here. We got to see him talking to an elf, and he's like, okay, we lurk in the shadows, we hunt shadows, and apparently there's some kind of cult that operates in the shadows, and then we get to see the OP, right? So we get that, and then we get to see the OP, and the OP shows all the different characters in seemingly what it looks like the real world, right? They're taking the train, they're in school, they're in class, they're bullying people, they're kind of all over. The OP I thought was absolute fire. I think it's amazing. And then the next thing I was like, okay, what kind of school, and this is while watching the OP, I was like, what kind of school do they go to? I like seeing his old self, because his old self used to be Minoru Kageno. So we get to see him, his old self, and then transfer into Sid, which is his new self, right? So during all of this, the first start of the episode and then the OP, the questions I'm wondering is, okay, how old is he? How long has he been in the school? When did he get to school? How did he get to this point? What kind of shadows are we hunting? Was he reincarnated? Was he reincarnated from birth? Was he put in here by some kind of system? Blah, 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 blah. All the normal isekai questions. Then the anime comes, and it just, like, hits a home run, and then it's like, okay, we get the backstory. So we get to see that Minoru Kageno died at the age of 18. He was hit by our friend Truck-kun, and he wakes up in another world as a baby. And I love when people are reincarnated in anime. I love when they're reincarnated as babies, because that's, like, the real path that you would figure reincarnation would go down, right? If I were to die in this chair right now, please, so it's a matter of speech, and I would hope that I would wake up as a baby somewhere, right? So he's reborn, and immediately that whole entire rebirth scene was awesome, right? His dad and mom were like, yo, he's not even crying. This dude's just like looking around, like, what's going on? And then he's like, oh, I'm a baby. Wah, wah. And they're like, oh, he's crying so loud. And I lost it. Then he sees the room fill up with magic. He's like, yes, this is exactly what I wanted. Isekai power protagonist, And then he's like, oh, I pooped. And I lost it during that scene. Then we find out, so I love all of that, right? I got all my questions answered about rebirth, re-isekai, all that stuff. I was like, yeah, that's how you do it. This is how you effing do it. Then we find out that he was reborn the son of a baron. He's part of an aristocrat family that lives in the boonies. They live in Buff F Egypt. And the family that he's a part of is a family that produces dark knights for the kingdom that are known as fencers. And the nation always has high hopes for his family. We find out that the breadwinner, or the person that his family is kind of putting all their cookies in that basket, it's not him, but it's his sister. And then we see that by day, he pretends to be like an NPC, very mediocre at not bad at anything, not fantastic, just very mediocre at everything. Then we get to see him by night. Then this is where it started. I literally wrote down, this dude's a psychopath. He's crazy. He's effing crazy. He pretends to be powerless, but yet he's effing nuts. He has slime abilities. And at night he goes after bandits. He steals their money. He steals their goods. Like he even changes his voice. During the day he's like, sister. And at night he's like, you effing bandits will face the wrath of me. And I lost it during that time. If you looked at his eyes, you can see like death in his eyes. Like this dude's effing psychopath. He goes and he gets some bandit. He finds a monster. He heals the monster. This monster turns into a girl. Then he decides to role play. So this man goes full role play. He goes full crazy, and he makes up all this bullshit. He sees like a bottle of like whiskey or wine, or it's some kind of alcohol. And he mashes the story of the heroes with this wine bottle, and he calls them the cult of Diablos, which is the devil, the cult of the devils, right? He makes up all this stuff. He makes up his own path. He makes up his own, like, what he's fighting for, what he's trying to do here in the world. And he gets this girl, recently converted girl, into his memories of grandeur or whatever, and he calls himself the Shadow Garden. Then we see that, later on the episode kind of goes on. We find out more that, hey, people of the academy, they go to the academy at 15 years old. He's now 13. His sister's going to go on the way. His sister gets kidnapped, blah, 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 blah. We find out that the girl that he saved, which is Alpha, so they're all like Alpha, Omega, Beta, stuff like that. We find out that the girl Alpha had recruited a bunch of others. So she has Beta and Gamma and Zeta and Nu and Epsilon. So we have all these different characters here that she recruited over to her side because she's effing crazy too, and now she wants to go get some revenge-y. And he gets all the girls together, and we find out that Claire, actually his sister, might actually be a hero descendant, that she might have been possessed at some point, and we find out that she knows more about her brother than he's leading on. He goes and by the straps of his boots, he's just guessing. This man's just guessing at everything, and things are just working out for him. He finds out where his sister is. He goes and saves her. Then he gets lost. He defeats the final boss. He still thinks that they're bandits. We find out that the cult of Diablos is real. Ridiculous. I love it. And then we see at the end where his sister's actually getting shipped out to the academy. And now the girls are telling him they're going to leave him now. And he's like, what the F? What do you mean you guys are going to leave me? Which I think it's going to be like an overlord thing, to where these girls they basically have him on a pedestal like 𝐒𝐡𝐚𝐧𝐬𝐭. And even when he makes mistakes, they think it's part of like his grand plan. So they probably think that he knows that they're going to leave. He probably thinks that them leaving to the capital is probably for them to go do reconnaissance. And like he knows all of this. But really in reality, he's like, what the F is going on? Where are you guys going? Why are you leaving me? So now he has 2 years to get to the academy. Wow. I'm telling you, man, this episode, like, this episode is good. This anime is fantastic. I love it. The Shadow Garden's here. Alpha, Omega, Beta, all of them are awesome. Claire, his sister, is effing nuts. Yo, when they threatened her brother, she went effing crazy. Like, oh my god. Anyway, Shadow Garden's here. That's all I have for you guys. 10 out of 10 episode. I'll see you guys next week. Peace out.